So sometimes different things will speak to me or to you about the koan will appear in ways that I can't in any way anticipate. I never know what a painting is going to be before I begin. You know, Allison could not come up with anything like this. I mean, I've known her all my life. She's not particularly creative, let me tell you. I know that about her. But the koans move through me and you, and that life is always calling to you. What I find so interesting is that moment of recognition, and that if I were to work with this koan again and do another painting, an entirely different image would arrive, because I'm not the person I was when I painted this. So every time you meet a koan, life will be speaking to you, and you never, well, it could be anything, you know, it could be the calla lilies or the flame, but there's something beautiful about what is speaking particularly to you and what is calling particularly to you, and to pay attention to that, and that's where the koan will enter your life. And sometimes it's a painful place. You know, sometimes it feels like an error, sometimes it feels like a mistake, like when I ran over the snake. You know, that was a painful part. But, you know, don't worry. It will come again. And to not be afraid of those places, not to be afraid of where it looks like a disaster, you know, and it actually might even be a disaster. But that's all right, and that becomes part of the piece. And that as I work, I often will, or like this one. This is very interesting. This one came first, and this side, it has the hand, and on the palm of the hand it says "Dreaming Awake." And then on the other side is the Machado poem in Spanish. And this hand image came from Tibet, a Tibetan mandala painting that I saw where it had a hand in the center. And that was another thing where I saw that image and I knew that there needed to be a hand in this piece. And I didn't know why. There was something about that image of the hand. And later, when I started looking at Aboriginal art after I'd finished the piece, I saw all the handprints on the cave walls, and it began to make sense that there was some connection there. So often I'll find out later some interesting connections that I didn't know about, like the snakes mating. The snakes, I read in Aboriginal mythology that the rainbow snake is the mediator between the dreaming and the waking world. And I didn't know that before so, you know, it was that moment where I see the snakes entangled, and I know they need to be in the painting, but I don't know why. And that you can trust those moments, that it may not make sense, but you can trust your body's response. So, this one. So when I sent this to John, I had to make an envelope because there were no envelopes this size. And it's got the snake painted on it, and it's all destroyed here. So what happened was, when I sent it in the mail, I guess it goes through some kind of machines that they don't really carefully look, and it completely shredded the envelope, and it also damaged significantly the painting. So I got an email from John saying, well, it arrived, it's just a little damage, you know, it kind of adds to the piece. And I said, well, send it back when you're ready. So he sent it back, and when I opened up the envelope from him, I opened it up, and I'm thinking, oh, it's just got a little damage, John said. I opened it up, It's completely destroyed. There are huge chunks missing. And I started laughing. It just seemed so funny because I had spent so much time, you know, making it just right and getting it just right. And here it was such a mess. So I repaired it, but I like that I couldn't repair all of it. I like that it shows what it had been through. And there's an aspect of the koan work where I send these to John, and I like that part where I send them in the mail, I put them in the mailbox, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to be safe. There's risk involved. So there's risk involved in koan work. There is risk involved. And what that risk is things are out of our control. It's out of my, I couldn't keep it safe. And I liked that I couldn't keep it safe. I've become to enjoy that part of the work. And then when John sent it back to me, I had so much fun repairing it that then I decided, oh, I want to make another one. So this one, I think, would not have come into existence if this one hadn't been chewed up by the U.S. Postal Service.